अब बच्चे खुश और मम्मी भी। कारवां मिनी किड्स।
Barber's Rewards. King Krishnadev Rai was sleeping in his armchair one day. Soon it was time for his usual shaving. The king's barber came in his room but found the king sleeping. The barber was confused whether he should wake up the king or let him sleep and come back later. In both scenarios, the barber thought he would be punished by the king. He was perplexed and could not decide. After thinking, the barber decided to shave the beard without waking the king up. The barber finished his work and left. The king woke up after a while and was thinking of calling the barber to get a shave. Suddenly, the king was surprised looking at himself in the mirror. He was surprised that he was already shaved. The king called for the barber. The barber came once again. He was scared of the impending punishment from the king, but the king was delighted on seeing the barber. The king praised the barber for his skill and dedication. "What reward do you want for this, barber? I will try and fulfill it," said King Krishnadev to the barber. The barber thanked the king for his gesture. He asked the king to help him convert to Brahmin. The barber wanted to be elevated in the caste system. The king agreed. A ceremony was arranged for this conversion. The Brahmins assigned to do the ceremony were not in agreement with the king's decision, but no one could tell the king lest he might punish them. Tenali Raman came to know of this ceremony. He also thought that the king should not support such demands. He decided a plan to tell the king about his mistake. Tenali took a black dog in the royal pond and started giving him a bath. The king was out for a stroll that time. The king saw this and asked Tenali to stop. "You are troubling the poor dog, Tenali," exclaimed the king. Tenali replied, "My lord, I am simply trying to convert this black dog to white." The king burst out laughing. The king told him it was not possible. "My king, you are also converting the barber into a Brahmin. Similarly, I can also convert this black dog into white," said Tenali. The king at once understood Tenali's real message. He ordered to stop the ceremony and called it off. The king rewarded the barber with some gold and he left. Birbal and the Three Dolls. An artist once visited Akbar's kingdom. He brought with him 3 dolls which looked like triplets. All 3 were almost copies of each other. Akbar immediately asked the man if he could buy these 3 dolls. The artist agreed, but had a condition. "I can only give them to you if any one of you could find the best amongst these 3 dolls." He said to the emperor. Akbar and all his ministers tried their best to find the best one. They all failed at solving this puzzle. The dolls were quite similar to one another. Then Akbar called for Birbal. Birbal was explained the entire confusion and asked to help. Birbal took the 3 dolls one by one and started observing closely. Then Suddenly he started blowing air into each doll's ear, one by one. Akbar was confused now. When Birbal blew air into the ear of one doll, the air came out of its mouth. When he did this to the second one, air came out of the other ear. However, when he blew air into the third doll's ear, it did not come out from anywhere. Quickly, Birbal proclaimed that the third doll was the best out of the three. Akbar asked, "How can you say that, Birbal?" Birbal replied calmly, "Jahanpana, these three dolls remind me of the types of men around us. There are some to whom when you tell a secret, they tell it to everyone immediately, like the first doll. Then, there are some who will forget it that time itself, like the second doll. But the third kind are true men. They will never tell your secret to anyone. So when I blew air into the third doll's ear, it did not come out. Hence, she is like the best kind of men." Entire court was impressed and applauded at Birbal's wit. The artist was impressed too and praised him. "I can now truly believe in Birbal's intelligence after seeing it myself," said the artist. He gifted the dolls to Akbar and left. Moral: one should always trust those who can keep secrets.
Hanuman, Childhood Days. Once upon a time, Kapiraj Kesari and Mother Anjana had gone out for some work. Anjana had left Hanuman in the cradle. She had gone to the forest to collect flowers and fruits. In the meantime, Hanuman began feeling hungry. Since he was just a child, he began crying and started throwing his hands and feet in the air. He suddenly noticed the sun rising in the east. It was dark red in color, which made Hanuman think of it as an edible fruit. Hanuman was the incarnation of Lord Shiva and had the power of flying from Pavanadeva himself. In no time, Hanuman jumped out of the cradle and began flying towards the sun. Pavanadeva saw him and was worried that the sun's heat might harm the child. So, the god of wind made himself ice cold and started flowing with Hanuman to cool him off. The sun was also happy to see Hanuman coming to him. He also started cooling down his rays to welcome the child. Hanuman climbed in the sun's chariot and started playing with the sun. That day also happened to be Amavasya, the last day of the dark half of the month. Rahu was coming to devour the sun to cause an eclipse and satisfy his hunger. As Rahu reached the chariot, he noticed a child sitting inside. Rahu was so hungry that he ignored the child and was going to eat the sun. At that moment, Hanuman caught Rahu and began crushing him hard. Rahu could hardly breathe, but somehow managed to escape. He went straight to Lord Indra to complain about the intruder. "You had given me the right to eat the sun or the moon if I am hungry. But today there was already someone else in the sun's chariot. That kid was going to kill me. I luckily managed to run away from there. Otherwise, I would have died," he said angrily to Lord Indra. Lord Indra was clueless about the child and he went to the sun on Airavat, his chief elephant. Rahu was with him and was re-energized with Lord Indra's support. Rahu leapt on the sun again to devour him, but Hanuman ran behind Rahu to eat him. Rahu started shouting for help. He again managed to save himself from Hanuman's clutches and ran away. Hanuman was still hungry and noticed Airavat. He leapt towards the elephant to eat him up, frightening Lord Indra. At once, Lord Indra threw a thunderbolt at Hanuman, which hit him and broke his chin. Hanuman fainted and fell on a mountain. Pavanadeva saw all this and was angry. He quickly rushed towards his son Hanuman and took him to a cave. Pavanadeva's anger made him stop all the winds from blowing. With no winds, the whole world began suffocating. Seeing this, the gods led by Indra, the Devas, Asuras and Gandharvas along with Nagas went to Lord Brahma for help. They prayed to Lord Brahma. Then they went to the cave with Lord Brahma himself. There they saw that the child was on Pavandeva's lap and the god of wind was in tears. Pavandeva with Hanuman fell at Lord Brahma's feet, who then took the child from him. Lord Brahma started rubbing the child's forehead with affection. Soon the child awakened. Seeing him awake, Pavandeva was very happy and the winds were back again. Lord Brahma knew the child was Hanuman, the incarnation of Lord Shiva. He granted a boon to him. No weapon can harm you, and no curse will have any effect on you, Hanuman. He also told all the gods that Hanuman would be the protector of all of them. Lord Brahma asked them to bless the child. The gods came forward to bless Hanuman and went back to their worlds. Hanuman selected to go to Lanka. Sampati was the brother of Jatayu who was killed. Sampati had his wings burnt by sun rays. He was shocked when he came to know about his brother Jatayu's death. He told the entire incident of Sita's abduction to the monkeys as he had seen Ravana carry her with him to Lanka. Sampati could not fly or resist him as he had no wings for support. He told the monkeys about Ravana, the son of Maharishi Vishrava and Kuber's brother. Sampati also said that Ravana was the king of Lanka, which was an island located 800 miles away. They were all worried for Sitama. Now, the monkeys were trying to decide who would fly to Lanka to search for Sita. Many of them, like Gaja, Maind, Dvivida, etc., began volunteering. They said they could leap the vast ocean to reach Lanka. Finally, Hanuman was chosen for the task. But Hanuman did not remember any of his powers. As a child, he had once been cursed by rishis that made him forget his powers until someone reminded him of them. It was Jambavana who had to remind Hanuman now of his flying powers. Hanuman had also been given Sita's description by Sri Ram. He also gave Hanuman a ring which had Ram's name engraved on it to give to Sita. Hanuman then took a gigantic form and climbed Mount Mahendra. He was ready and took a leap to cross the oceans. The ocean was a follower of Lord Ram. Seeing Hanuman fly over it, the ocean asked Mount Menak to become taller for Hanuman to rest on it. But Hanuman politely refused the offer, saying that he would only stop once he reached Lanka. The gods, demigods and sages also wanted to test Hanuman's devotion. They prayed to the good spirit Sursa to become an ogress and hinder Hanuman's path. On the way to Lanka, Hanuman came across Sursa. She was a gigantic ogress with huge canine teeth ready to eat. She told Hanuman that the gods had sent her to eat him now. Hanuman told Sursa of his purpose and promised to come back to satisfy her hunger. But Sursa did not budge. She wanted to eat Hanuman right now. Hanuman was getting annoyed and made a plan. He asked Sursa to increase her size to eat him. As Sursa began increasing the size of her mouth, Hanuman began increasing his own size. Finally, her mouth size was almost 800 miles wide. Hanuman suddenly shrank himself to a tiny size and entered her mouth. He came out of it immediately, just in time before she could close her mouth. Sursa was impressed by him and came in her original form, Nagmata. She then blessed him, and Hanuman continued on his journey. After some time, he came across another ogress, Simhika. She was also waiting with her mouth open to devour Hanuman. He again shrunk himself to the size of a thumb, entered her mouth, and came out tearing her vital centers. This killed Simhika instantly. Hanuman then carried on his path and reached Lanka. He knew he had to look for Sita secretly, so he reduced himself to a size where no one could notice him. Hanuman then began scouring every building, every nook and cranny for Sita Ma. He finally found her in Ashoka Vatika, surrounded by guards and ogresses. Suddenly, Ravana came to Sita and said some endearing words. But Sita was loyal to her husband Ram and spurned Ravana's efforts. Ravana got very angry with her and instructed the ogresses to treat Sita cruelly so that she forgot her husband. Sita was losing all hope now. She wanted to bring an end to her life. She held a branch of the tree and was thinking of using her braid as a rope to hang from it. Suddenly, she started getting auspicious signs which brought back her hope. By this time, the ogresses had also left. Hanuman quietly came to his original form and bowed before Sita. He told her that he was Lord Ram's messenger. He even gave her the ring from Ram as proof of his identity. Seeing the ring, Sita knew that Hanuman was indeed sent by her husband, Ram himself. She asked Hanuman to tell her husband to save her quickly. She wanted to get free from Ravana's clutches. Hanuman requested Sita to give something to him as a proof that he had met Sita. She removed a chudamani from the knot in her sari and gave it to Hanuman. He then left from there. Hanuman wanted to check how strong Ram's enemy Ravana was. So he again took a gigantic form and started causing disruption in Lanka and Ashok Vatika. Hanuman was hoping to get arrested and meet Ravana in person to check on his army too. Ravana first sent his army to arrest Hanuman, but in vain. He then sent his son Indrajit to arrest Hanuman. Hanuman was finally brought to the palace before Ravana. Seeing Ravana, Hanuman warned him of the impending danger coming towards him. Ravana was angry and asked his men to kill Hanuman. But his brother Vibhishana intervened and said that it was not right to kill a messenger. Then Ravana asked his army to set Hanuman's tail on fire. They did as told. Giant flames were rising from Hanuman's tail now. He was being taken around the city to show Ravana's power. But Hanuman managed to escape and started destroying Ravana's Lanka. He was setting fire to the entire island. Hanuman was careful of not causing harm to the place where Sita was kept. He then went to see if she was fine and left to see Lord Rama afterwards. Hanuman, along with few monkeys led by Angad, reached Prastavana mountain. They bowed before Lord Ram, Lakshman and Sugriva. They then informed that Sita was safe and unharmed, but she was surrounded by cruel ogresses. They also said that Ravana had given her 2 months' time to surrender to him. He also said that Sita wanted to wait only 1 more month, after which she would kill herself in Ashok Vatika. Hanuman then handed over the Chudamani to Ram. Lord Ram took the Chudamani in his hand and began crying. Seeing him cry, even Lakshman began weeping.
Killing of Kansa. Krishna, Balram, along with their friends, followed the crowd to the place where Dhanur Yagya was being conducted. It was there that Kansa had kept Lord Shiva's great bow on display for worship. Krishna also bowed to it and then lifted it up. He stringed the bow and pulled at it, breaking the bow in 2 parts. It let out a loud thud as it broke. All soldiers came running towards them to kill them, but the boys fought them and managed to escape. They left this place and moved on to explore Mathura. There was a wrestling match happening the next day. Kansa loved watching such matches. All villagers were sitting in galleries waiting for the matches to begin. Kansa was sitting at the highest spot in the arena. Wrestlers like Chanur, Mushtik and others were already inside. Krishna and Balram also wanted to enter the arena, but they were being spotted by an elephant. They requested the caretaker to give them way, but he denied. They then threatened to kill him. The caretaker got furious and ordered the elephant to kill the boys instead. The elephant took Krishna and wrapped his trunk around him, but Krishna was ready and slipped from between. He went under the elephant's belly and pulled him by his tail. Shri Krishna then went in front of the elephant and pretended to be dead. The elephant saw this and pounced on him with his tusks. Shri Krishna moved away in time. The poor elephant now had its tusks stuck in the ground. Krishna held his tusks, gave him a blow, and killed the mighty elephant. He then pulled out the bloody tusks out of the elephant. Krishna took one for him and gave the other to Balram. Both the brothers then entered the arena. Everyone was amazed at seeing the small boys. They could not believe that these boys had killed an elephant. Looking at them, the wrestler Chanur asked Krishna to wrestle with him. "We are too small, uncle. We cannot fight you," replied Krishna mockingly. Chanur insisted and told them if they can fight an elephant, they could fight with them too. The fight started. Chanur was fighting with Krishna while Mushtik fought Balram. Vasudev and Devki too were present in the audience. They were scared to see their children fight such strong wrestlers. All of a sudden, both Krishna and Balram had put their opponents on the ground and were standing on top of them. Both Chanur and Mushtik had now started bleeding profusely. They could not bear the punches anymore. They died on the field. To defend their death, their brothers also came to fight. But Krishna and Balram fought and defeated them as well. The whole crowd was rejoicing and screaming with awe. The gopis joined Krishna and Balram in the arena and they all started dancing. Kansa was getting very angry looking at all this. He ordered his guards to kill Devki and Vasudev. All of a sudden, Shri Krishna appeared in front of him. Kansa had its sword out in his hands and tried to attack Krishna. Krishna was quick and put him down on the ground. Krishna stood on Kansa. The weight felt like the entire world was on Kansa. Kansa was counting his last breath now. He then got to see Krishna in the divine form. A majestic light emerged from his body and entered Lord Krishna. Kansa had attained moksha. He was free from all his sins now. Krishna and Balram then left the arena for Sandeepani's ashram.